everyone. My name is Bridget Andrews. Welcome to Geometry. I am your child's geometry teacher this year. I have a couple pictures up here. My first is was my one quarantine baking success, and they were circles, so I figured that went with the geometry theme. So I wanted to show you guys that. And then on the right is just a picture of my family. We have two kids and an 11-year-old dog. Yeah. So just a little bit more about myself. My education and teaching background, I actually went to LT, go Lions. Woo! I then went to the University of Missouri and I majored in mathematics and education. I then went on to get my master's degree in special education at Loyola University. When I finished my education, I worked for 2 years at Waukegan High School before landing my dream job of LTHS, and I've been at LT for 9 years. I coached Special Olympics basketball for 2 years before I had my first child. So some course goals for geometry, basically what I want students to do is deepen their understanding of geometry and its applications into the real world, and be able to communicate geometric ideas in the language of mathematics. Geometry is one of my favorite math subjects just because I feel like it is so applicable to the real world, and it's a fun topic to teach. So a little bit about my grading practices, and these are grading practices that are standard across all of LT. So if you have listened to any of the other classes yet, you probably have heard the words formative and summative. So the formative assessments are all of the practice stuff that the kids are going to do. So they're objective checks, they're, Zoom polls, homework, in-class practice. All of that stuff is formative, and that is worth 0% of their grade. I will still put that stuff into Infinite Campus so that it's a communication with both you guys and the student of where they are at currently and what they need to do before they take their summative to get where they want to be, to reach their goals. So the summative assessments in my class are just going to be unit tests. They will be on Canvas, and the kids have been practicing them. So all of my objective checks look similar to what the summative assessments will look like. So when we take our first summative assessment, they won't be surprised, and they'll have lots of practice with the formatting of how to enter those into Canvas. So how does class look and what do students need every day? Obviously, it looks very, very, very different than last year, but I'm hoping to still be able to get as much connection with the kids and with myself as possible. And I'll mix things up. I'll always start with an opener. We'll do some fun polls, either some question polls just to get the kids talking, or obviously some geometry type polls. We'll do breakout rooms where kids maybe will feel a little bit more comfortable talking to each other. I will do some direct instruction. I am able to screen share my screen so that kids can kind of see and take notes as I'm writing, real time, so they can ask questions if they have them. They can enter their questions into the chat box. They can, unmute themselves and ask the question. I'll also do some exit slips, and in class and out of class, there will be the formative assessments and the summative assessment. The summative assessment will be during class time, just to make sure everyone has time to complete that. And what they need every day is really a pencil, some scratch paper, the printed materials, if possible, and a calculator. So in geometry, there are just a lot of diagrams and definitions. And so the reason that I do give the students materials to print, if possible, is just to save themselves some time in writing. But if you don't have a printer, if you're not able to access a printer, it is totally fine for kids to just copy that stuff down onto a sheet of paper, a sheet of scratch paper. So printer is not needed, but I just am trying to save the kids some writing time there. So if your child needs extra help, I am I am here to help. I want to make connections with your kids. It is, I will say, it is a little different, well, a lot different, you know, talking to a full muted classroom. So I love when the kids talk to me. I love when they ask questions. I love when they talk to each other. It just feels a lot more, you know, like a classroom, which that's what we're going for here. So if your child needs extra help, I am happy to do a one-on-one Zoom with them during, you know, the VP time, the office hours time. I have office hours daily. They can email me just a quick question and I can email them back if they don't want to hop on a Zoom with me. But really, I want to connect with your kids. I want to build these relationships. So if your child needs help, I would love to help them. It's not them asking, you know, for anything that I wouldn't want to do. So if you notice that you're, well, and I tell the students this too, you know, if they notice that their formative assessments are not where they want to be, please have them reach out to me so we can, and I will also reach out to them as well if I notice something. But so we can get their formative assessments scores up before they take that summative. So I will just quickly show you what my Canvas page looks like here. So the kids, when they log in, this will be on their home screen. And the schedule is up here first. So every Monday is a Lion Day. Tuesdays and Thursdays are gold days. And then Wednesdays and Fridays are blue days. I have the course syllabus linked here. I also have this online calculator, which is really great. If the kids don't have their own calculator, it's a really nice, you know, they can use parentheses, they can do all of this stuff. So I really like this online calculator, and then it gives the answer right over here. There's, you know, squareds and everything. So this is a really nice option if your child does not have their own calculator. There'll always be the documents to print at least a week or two in advance. So if you don't have access to a printer at your house, but maybe somewhere else, I'll always both email those out and send those and put those on Canvas for the kids at least a week in advance. And then here is always, you know, everything that we're doing for the week. So, you know, yesterday, Monday was 8:31. I have my Zoom class link up there. I have the agenda of what we're going to do that day. And then I have the homework over here. That's for each day. And so if kids ever, you know, miss class, this would be their first place to look, as well as emailing me if they need a copy of the notes, if we did notes that day. And then if they scroll down, you know, this is the old stuff. This was from week 2, this was from week 1. And then once we get into week 4, I'll move this up to the top. So I'm hoping that this is pretty user-friendly for the kids, so they always know, you know, what's coming in class and what they missed. So then finally, if you ever have any questions, please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out. I am here to answer any questions. I am here to help. I never want anyone, you know, feeling overwhelmed and like they don't have a place that they can, you know, get help. So if you ever have any questions, any concerns, please email me at bandrews@lths.net. Thanks a lot.